Hey, how's it going everybody? Back to another Team Photos 2 discussion of the Demo Man. More specifically the Iron Bomber, and I wanted to conclude the Cookie Bomb launch in this video too, but I couldn't get any good gameplay with it, and I'd rather just focus on the grenade launcher, because it is an interesting one. Had quite a good streak with this thing as well, got about 20 or 21 kills, so yeah, hopefully you should enjoy. Now for someone who loves Demo Man, I was excited when I heard there was new weapons for him, and the excitement quickly went. I think that goes for a lot of people as well. I had a look at what they were and the stats, and I was rather disappointed. They just seemed like more weapons to collect dust in the backpack, along with weapons like the eviction notice and winger. You know, how many people do you actually see using these weapons now that all the initial hype is gone? I don't want to see more weapons go the same way. I think Valve are trying to make weapons different in terms of mechanics, and not just things as obvious like the damage or the projectile speed. They did this with weapons like the lock and load, and for years since this weapon was added, it divided people. You know, you've got people who don't want it in the game, and you've got people who love using it. Take a look at the latest weapons that have been added before the Smiths update. We've got things like the Classic and the Airstrike and the Base Jumper. And these items are completely different to their respective stocks. And I think that's what Valve are trying to do, trying to get that diversity to completely change the way classes played, rather than make slightly different weapons that cause a slightly different style of play. Okay, so I should probably talk a bit about the Iron Bomber. Firstly I'll go over its stats. Now it has a 20% smaller explosion radius, and a minus 10% damage penalty to grenades that explode on timer, and for that you get reduced bounce and roll. So if you hit the target directly, yeah, you do a smaller explosion than the stock, with no upsides, so stock is better there. And if you miss and the grenade explodes on timer, you get less damage, as well as a smaller explosion, so stock is better there as well. So it doesn't sound too good right now. And after using this weapon, I found that the reduced bounce and roll is actually sometimes a problem. Bouncing grenades off walls and around corners, or just rolling them down into a bunch of enemies. It's one of the features of a grenade launcher. So is this weapon even useful at all? Or could you say it has any positives? So I tried using the Iron Bomber, and as bad as I'm making its stats out to be, it's actually quite nice to use. Other than the sound and looking pretty cool, it can make enemies conscious to where the grenades go if I miss them. With this stock grenade launcher, as long as they're not in a corner, if a Demo Man misses me, you know, he's missed, and now that's a problem for like someone else. But with the Iron Bomber, you can box people in and kind of trap people. It's almost like sticky bombs where you can lay down bombs and force people's movements, but to a lesser degree. It's also pretty good at stopping pyros from outblasting away once they're landed, because they don't go anywhere, and you can also use them to grenade jump easier if you don't have stickies. But really, less bounce and roll isn't really an upside, it's more of a gimmick. You go for direct hits, and if you're hitting them directly, it's just worse than the grenade launcher, and less damage on rollers and less radius go against the whole concept of the weapon in the first place. Going back to what I was saying before about weapons nobody uses, I'd rather Valve go back to useless weapons and make them viable, rather than just adding more junk weapons that once people have used and figured out, they're not going to go back to again. Take the Diamondback for example, you know, nobody ever used that thing, and now suddenly it's a great option to have. Making weapons fresh and new just has the same impact as adding more weapons. Anyway, that should about wrap it up. I got a good gameplay, so I thought I'd just talk about it for a bit. I hope you enjoyed this quick little discussion, and maybe you disagree. Maybe there's some magical secret to the weapon I just don't know, or you know, I could be overlooking something. If so, tell me in the comments or something. But as always, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Take care, guys.